Well, these players waiting for the green light, and we'll be good to go here for our finals.
Yeah, both players have kept. We are underway.
It's an island here for Pelrine.
Yeah, this is a 6-on-6. Both players took a mulligan. Something that I would imagine favors Shaheen.
Yeah. Because combo deck is looking for critical mass of cards, though for what it's worth, it is a kind of a 2-card combo deck here for Pelrine.
Yeah, well, Omnitel oftentimes is a little more of a 3-card combo deck. Yeah, it plays 2 Emrakul to go with the 4 Show and Tell, and that's 2 cards, but you're frequently looking for 3 things. You're looking for Show and Tell plus Omniscience, plus then say Cunning Wish, plus then maybe plus the Emrakul, plus a Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time is such a good inclusion for the deck. Really got away from the need to play Enter the Infinite.
Yeah, which is a big change. Because Enter the Infinite was...
Not a good card.
Yeah, I mean, it was purely a combo piece and something you can remove to Force of Will. But Dig Through Time is something you can actually cast and also acts as a combo piece once you have Omniscience in play because it can chain you into other combo pieces.
And I think that's just exactly it. Previous versions, in order to cast Enter the Infinite, you'd see them play things like Dream Halls.
Yep.
And we can get away from these clunkier cards and just play good Magic cards.
Pelrine done resolving a Brainstorm. Now he'll sacrifice blue to Delta. Basic Island on the way. Again, one of the nice things about this Omnitel deck as well is that it is able to play a lot of basics, so it doesn't have to really concern itself with a card like Wasteland. These small benefits certainly do add up in Legacy. Pelrine will untap and draw a card.
Draws a Spell Pierce. So he has some good offensive counter magic. I'm not certain how close he is to putting the pieces of the puzzle together yet, though. Good reaction, good lands, but does he have the combo?
He's going to go cantripping. He's got a Ponder here. Looks like he's looking at a Gataxian Probe and a Volcanic Island, among others. He'll shuffle, not happy with what he saw. So mystery card on the way here for Josh. The nice thing here for Pelrine is that he's not underneath any pressure. He's not being attacked at all. His life total is at 19. Shaheen hasn't gotten to the board yet. So even though he doesn't have what he's looking for just yet, he's got plenty of time to cantrip around because Shaheen doesn't have anything going on.
Right, at some point Shaheen will have to tap out for a threat and challenge Pelrine to have the combo, but that's a ways off.
Shaheen going to sacrifice his blue to Delta in the upkeep. We'll see what land he wants to search for. One of the nice things in this matchup for Shaheen is that he can search for non-basics as he chooses, because he doesn't have to worry about Wasteland either. So he'll go with an Underground Sea.
And it'll be interesting to see what Shaheen's first move is. We'll know what Pelrine's, Pelrine will make a move and we know when, but it's not, I think ideally Shaheen would like to get a Thoughtseize here. Maybe try to clear the coast for something like Jace or Stoneforge Mystic.
It's a Ponder. Might be a Spell Pierce here for Josh. We've seen him aggressively counter cantrips.
Seems to me like Shaheen's fishing for the Spell Pierce, and he's gonna get it.
Hey, he did have a land to play. Now here's a Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, I think he wanted that one to get Spell Pierced.
Stoneforge Mystic going to search a Batterskull.
Shields are down, but does Pelrine have the combo? He has an Omniscience, 2 Force of Wills, a Dig Through Time. None of those will play. Now, the advantage on Pelrine's side of Spell Piercing is it gets him closer to Dig Through Time. And with a hand as clunky as his is, that might be the only thing that matters. He was going to fire Spell Pierce off at the first possible moment.
Well, as many like to say, it's not a show and tell deck with Dig Through Time. It's the other way around. Show and tell is just how this deck happens to win. It's just a beautiful Dig Through Time deck. And actually, he has show and tell in his hand.
All right, he'll try for it. Does Shaheen have the counter? Bold move here by Josh. He has Force of Will backup.
Yeah, this is a pretty safe one.
Yeah. He drew the Omniscience for the turn. That was the good part. Now has Omniscience in play.
Here's Dig Through Time. And Shaheen's not even going to wait.
I mean, he's not wrong, but...
is it likely for Josh to miss? No.
That's right.
Is it likely for him to hit? Yes.
Yes,
it is. I would have, if I'm in the finals and I'm Shaheen, I want to see him do it.
You want to make him show it?
Yeah, I want to see him actually hit. I mean, stranger things have happened. He could hit 7 lands. It's very unlikely, but either way, Josh Pelrine does win game number 1 very quickly here over Shaheen Soorani, which means we're going to take a look at the sideboards here of the 2, and we'll start with Shaheen since he'll be on the play. He's got that blue elemental blast, those 2 Cabal therapies, those 2 containment priests, a disenchant, a force of will, a notion thief, 2 perish, 2 rest in peace, 2 spell pierce, and the big one.
We're still waiting for it. That's the Tellman performance. Okay, so before we get to that one, let's start at the front side. Cabal therapy seems excellent here. He wants to tear apart that hand. Lingering Souls can help do it. He'd even do it off Stoneforge Mystics. Containment priest is interesting. Now, you typically see that against sneak and show decks, or decks that are more in on making monsters. Containment Priest, I think, is a trap. I think, Josh does have 2 Emrakul's, but as you saw that game, Josh won because he cast Omniscience, not because of anything else. Other things that Shaheen could have here, he has another Force of Will. That's going to be great for him. If he's really feeling it, he can go for Notion Thief. There are a lot of cantrips in Josh's deck. 2 Spell Pierce are definitely coming in, and then that last one, we've been waiting for him to cast it all weekend, have not seen it yet, but if he ever casts it, Tellman performance is pretty live here.
Shaheen doesn't need to be feeling it to bring in Notion Thief. It's coming in. It's coming in. It's the
you,
finals. He's
sure.
on camera. It's coming in. On Josh's side, you see the Cunning Wish package here of Eldarmer's Call. Trickery, Firemind's Foresight, Flusterstorm, Intuition, Release the Ants, Surgical Extraction, Wipe Away. Those 2 Lightning Bolts, those 2 Pyroblasts, 2 Young Pyromancers, and then a Pyroclasm. I think he's going to leave a lot of the wish targets over there. I don't think this is a matchup where he needs to board in Young Pyromancer. I do like Pyroblast. I'm okay with Lightning Bolt because it slows Shaheen down a little bit, and the same can be said for the Pyroclasm. But I don't think Josh is going to change all that much.
No, and the 2 young Pyromancer is very interesting to me insofar as I'm not certain what matchup he actually wanted that in. So he may bring it in here. Shaheen is a deck that's overloading on removal, so it is reasonable against that kind of plan. But yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Let's try to fight a counterspell war. 2 Pyroblast seems good, and maybe just stop there.
Well, these players are going to sideboard. Get ready here for game number 2. Soorani will be on the play, and we will talk about the YouTube page here with Star City Games, where you can watch the replay of this match. Also, Shaheen beating Lands in the quarterfinals against Daryl Ayers, and a whole bunch more on our YouTube page. Versus Series archives, premium archives of the wonderful Open Series coverage, unboxings, which are specialized content for our YouTube page with Evan Irwin, Brian Braun, Chris Van Meter, and the rest of the Versus Series crew. Whole bunch more over at youtube.com/Star City Games Video. Be one of over 60,000 subscribers to our YouTube page. Again, youtube.com/Star City Games Video. Oh, it's free, by the way, so you have no excuse. So we'll get ready now for game number 2. Shaheen will be on the play. Got a lot of the bad cards out of his deck. Good cards are in. And we'll see if he can change things around here enough to be able to go to a 3rd game.
Things will definitely be closer after the sideboard. Mentioned there's a fair number of cards, those Spell Pierces, Cabal Therapies coming in for Shaheen that are very good, and Josh is mostly playing the game 1 deck. But up a game is where Josh would want to be. Shaheen will have to get both the sideboard games. First one's the easier one because Shaheen is on the play. So let's see if he can even get that.
I think things get better for Shaheen. I think things overall get better for Shaheen than they do for Josh in the sideboarded games. I think Josh is a pretty heavy favorite in game 1.
Yeah, things definitely do get better for Shaheen. The difficulty is he has to win 2 games, and how much better did they get? Certainly the weapons he's bringing in are good, and Josh doesn't have too much to bring in. But is the fight fair now? Is Shaheen ahead by a little?
I don't know.
Those are the questions you have to ask.
The thing that's really tough here, too, is, Josh's deck is one that doesn't really mulligan very much. That's actually one of the things I like about this particular combo deck. It's a deck full of cantrips. Yeah. So it actually doesn't have to mulligan all that much because it just does the same thing every game.
I mean, in a lot of ways, this is a deck that's, similar to your High Tide style decks where you're getting even, the advantage to High Tide was you had almost no combo pieces. Your entire deck was cantrips. And Omnitel's getting very close to being the same thing, especially once you cut things like Enter the Infinite and other combo pieces for, cantrips, Dig Through Time. I mean, look at this. He has Gitaxian Probe, Ponder, Brainstorm, Dig Through Time, Preordain, Impulse, and Cunning Wish. That's 20 cantrips in the deck. with correct sequencing, he should be able to draw whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, his deck would really have to not cooperate with him for that not to be the case. Shaheen going to get ready here for game number 2, as will Josh. Been a fun tournament to watch so far. Really starts at the top 8 here in Washington, D.C. We had Dylan Donegan, Michael Derzo, Daryl Ayers, Brian Cook all make the top 8. Brian Braun naturally got 9th place on tiebreakers because that's what he does.
Strong finish.
Yeah, of course. Brian with miracles yet again. Another great finish, but 9th place this weekend. And Shaheen Soorani really taking people by surprise this weekend with his Esper Stoneblade deck. Not many changes. Just been doing the same thing he's been doing for some time now. Some small upgrades. As we did mention, Council's Judgment, better than Vindicate, so that's there. And Dig Through Time, well, that didn't exist when he was playing this deck back in 2012, so that's in there. And what's going to be interesting as I think we make our way through this Legacy format is just how many more decks work towards playing Dig Through Time.
Yeah. I mean, and it's interesting because the original talk, I don't think we realized just how good it was because Treasure Cruise was there at the same time.
Yep.
So, we saw Treasure Cruise everywhere, and we said, well, maybe, I think even when Treasure Cruise around, we said, okay, well, maybe Miracles will play Dig Through Time instead. That's more of a Dig Through Time style deck, and that's not wrong. And now that Treasure Cruise has left the format, Dig Through Time's just starting to creep into a lot of different decks.
Yeah, I think, it's weird because I think people were kind of hesitant to give Dig Through Time a try because it's double blue and 6 Delve and all that stuff, and Treasure Cruise was better, as you mentioned, but now people are seeing it in action, and I think everyone's realizing just how good of a card it is now here's a Cabal Therapy. We'll see if Shaheen was able to hit, and Shaheen is able to hit by naming Brainstorm. Dig Through Time, Gataxian Probe, Cunning Wish, Omniscience, 2 lands, Island, and Misty Rainforest in hand. So Shaheen's going to record that information.
And good on Shaheen to get that hit off turn 1 on the Cabal Therapy.
And I like naming Brainstorm there. Don't want to give him the opportunity to hide anything.
For Josh Pelrine, draw may have been a show and tell. Yeah,
it was.
Which, all right, if if we get to turn 3, Josh just has the win. Now he has no counter magic to protect it. He accidentally fumbles his draw there. Sheena writes it down.
Yep, it was a Flooded Strand. Here's Probe.
Wants to know. I'm actually kind of interested that Josh was using the Probe this turn. I somewhat expected him to Probe next turn.
Pretty good idea of what the hand is here. There's an Intuition, a couple of lands there, and Flooded Strand, Marsh Flats, and Island, and then a Spell Pierce.
All right, it's a lot of pressure on that Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
He'll draw off the Probe, finds Brainstorm, and so if he can Brainstorm into an offensive counter spell, then Josh should be able to pull off a turn 3 combo here.
There's an Island. Here's Brainstorm. Well, this is exactly...
Shields down.
Yeah, this is exactly what Josh wanted to have happen.
Now, Sheen has drawn 1 card since Josh last saw his hand and was willing to not use Intuition there. So the question here is, does Josh just jam?
Dude,
okay, it's happening.
Dude,
you can tell.
It's one way. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, I win the tournament. It's one way.
Finds the Volcanic Island.
Yeah. I would never pass up this opportunity.
I suppose he even has the ability to reload.
Yeah, because he's got a dig in his hand. So if you got it, you got it. If not, this tournament's mine.
Here we go. Show and tell. Turn 3 from Josh Pelrine. The hand of lands plus Intuition is not going to help Shaheen here. And Omniscience is put into play by Josh, and we may just have a champion.
Here's a Cunning Wish. Shaheen can cast Intuition in response, but I don't think that it does very much, so Cunning Wish is going to resolve.
All right. Cunning Wish. Here's the combo line we're looking for Firemind's Foresight. Firemind's Foresight can be cast. It finds 3 instants of cost 1, 2, and 3. He can find Cunning Wish, Impulse, and Brainstorm. So in that sense, he just gets free spells, and that's enough for Shaheen. Josh Pelrine takes it down.
We have our champion here in Washington, D.C. with Omnitel, #1 overall seed in the tournament, and he made it look easy all the way through the top 8, did not lose a game. Josh Pelrine is your Legacy Open champion here in the nation's capital. Congratulations to him on a very impressive display. It's a really tough matchup for Esper Stoneblade after sideboard, but boy, Josh made this top 8 look easy. He did not drop a single game in the elimination rounds.